Recording.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to the Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin. Please rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you will indulge me for a minute here. Mark, can I have you to stand up for a minute, please? I want to be able to read it loud enough, so. This is presented to Mark Dykoff in sincere appreciation of his dedication of years of service on the Lacey Township Committee. They name all the years on here, but for me, it's over 20 years you've been here, Mark, and we appreciate your help, along with myself, advice, things that you've said to me, aided me along the way, as they say. And I appreciate you, and we're sorry you're going, but we understand that it's time. It's time for you to move on and do bigger and better things. So congratulations to you. I'd like to open up the floor to the Deputy Mayor first to have something to say.
Thank you, Mayor. When I first met Mark, I was really impressed. Mark has always struck me as a strong man. To me, that stuff matters. He was a great mayor during Sandy. It was unprecedented destruction, and he's given me good advice over the years. I'm here a little bit more than half the time that he has been here, so I appreciated when he talked to me. And again, I think he's a strong man. I respect and admire that. I think that's the best compliment one man could give another man, and I appreciate serving with you.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mr. Kennis?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this being our last night meeting of 2024, it's also Mark's last official meeting, and there's one more on the calendar. And I want to thank Mark for all the time that he's contributed to Lacey Township. In different capacities, Mark has now served the Township Committee for over 20 years, starting with the Zoning Board, before eventually serving as an elected official. I always found that Mark wanted all the information before reaching a conclusion, and in particular, I always valued his ability to recall pertinent information when the committee was being questioned or criticized. He played good defense. So I again just want to thank Mark for his contributions from the township and the time that he put in to make Lacey Township a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Mr. McDonald?
Thank you. I have had the privilege of knowing Mark for over 20 years. He served with me on the Board of Adjustment and then coming up here. And Mark and I, we get along sometimes.
But
One of the things Mark and I have agreed on is that we always have respected each other's opinion. And that's a good thing, because we've always reached a compromise sometimes. Sometimes we're just two strong-headed men just not agreeing. But one of the things I will miss with Mark not being here is his advice. But I will always treasure our Saturday mornings, sitting next to each other, whispering to each other, and having those guys down there going, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? And 90% of the time, we weren't talking about anything. We were talking about
so you
sports
have no clue.
or something like that. When Mark called me in January, and he said he wasn't going to run, first thing I said, can I talk you out of it? Because he is very valuable up here. And he said, nope. And I said, okay, I won't even try. And I had a feeling on this, and I know why Mark is retiring, because he wants to do more camping. He wants to dote after his grandchild.
Yes.
Okay, and he just wants more time. And if you ever question the amount of time it takes, that this job takes, talk to Mark right now, because he will tell you it's unbelievable the amount of energy and effort it takes to do this job. This is the easy part.
yeah,
This is the easy part, coming to these meetings. This is the easy part. But Mark, I wish you nothing but the best of luck and best of health.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate it.
McDonald. Mr. Connors, would you?
Thank you. I appreciate the chair recognizing me among the elected officials that are here today. Mark will join the happiest group of elected officials, a fraternity of those that held public office. And for someone who's held office for as long as Mark, I get it. And it's almost like going in a boat. The two happiest days of your life is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. And I was telling a story in the back room that another council member from another town had asked me after I decided that I was not going to seek reelection, that if I had any regrets in not doing so after 30-some-odd years in public office. And I said, no, I really don't. Certainly you miss some people that you work with, but, you know when it's time. But I said, I don't know whether you have grandchildren or not, but I draw the analogy, it's like having grandchildren. I can see my grandchildren pretty much whenever I want, and I see them in short periods of time, and so that when they're done, they go back to their mom and dad, and I have no more responsibility for them, and it makes for the greatest relationship. And I said, when you leave public office, you can still go to the social affairs, you can still go to the political events and whatnot, but when you go, you're not going to leave with a long list of things to do that people have given you. So leaving public office is like being a happy grandparent. And Mark, I've been proud to serve in public office with you. And I'm proud that you're joining this fraternity of former elected officials, particularly those from here, from Lacey Township.
Thank you.
Mark, we've been together a long time. We get very passionate about our opinions on different things at times, but at the end of the day, we always do respect each other. And I've enjoyed working with him, and he was always a big supporter of different departments in the township, and always supported the employees, and always did like the full picture before he made a decision. And one thing that Mark has always said, and I do remember that, and I repeat it often to other employees, one of his mottos is, don't tell me why we can't, but show me how we can. And that is something that I do repeat and utilize quite a bit with my fellow employees there. So I appreciate everything you've done.
Thanks. Thanks. Very happy for you, Mark. You're going to have fun with your family and enjoy them, and that's the biggest thing,
My turn?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. So, I'm going to be a smart man and thank the first person. Well, listen, how do we start this? Over 20 years. Why do I do this? Well, and people say, Mark, how do you know you're doing the right thing? Well, it has to pass the litmus test. And the litmus test, and of course, unfortunately, my wife's not here tonight. She had something she had to do. Is it has to pass the TAMI test. And what's the TAMI test? The TAMI test started from my first meeting, and I went home and was discussing the events and what we discussed, and I knew if I couldn't explain it to my wife and in a believable fashion, it wasn't going to fly. There's another test. So I've always respected strong women. And I'm gonna direct it to the woman to the left of me. Veronica and I, of all the elected officials that I've served with, we discuss things on a regular basis. And as Mr. McDonald said, if you think serving up here is 2 meetings a month, that's not what it is. It's diving into the deep end and understanding. And Veronica is right. Sometimes we will disagree. All of us, and sometimes people say, well, you all vote the same. Believe me, if you think we all vote the same and are of the same mind, you're mistaken. So now I'm going to jump 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I sat up here, and I sat all the way in the other end because I was a new guy. And I sat up here with John Parker, Brian Reed, Gary Quinn, and Helen Delacruz. And I sat up here and I said, wow, do I deserve to be up here? I was so proud to be up there, and I can tell you, I'm so proud to be up here now. The ability to exchange ideas and discuss the goings-on with people like this, with people like Chris Connors, and before him, Lauren Sagan, before him, George Gilmore, and the people I've gotten to meet, our assemblyman, governor, people from the federal government, traveling to Washington, traveling to Trenton. It's truly an honor, and I've enjoyed it so much. Am I sometimes adversarial? Yeah, I am. But it only comes from my passion for this township and how much I love it. I'm adversarial with my family sometimes. If someone criticizes this township, you could be sure I'm going to tell them why I think this township is great. And so interesting story. My wife, myself, and my children went to a dinner at Ocean County Votech at the Atlantis. It was a demonstration. And the nice thing, I enjoyed this. It's kind of like going on a cruise sometimes. I enjoy going out and talking to people. And when I travel, I talk to people from all over the country, and I try and get their take on what's going on in the nation. And it just so happens we were sitting with an older couple, and they weren't a couple, they were a brother and a sister. And it turns out they lived in Lacey for 20 years and had no clue who I was. And you know, I was, you know, well, what do you think of Lacey? And they told me how much they loved it. And we discussed, you know, some of the development and things like that, you know, it goes with the territory. Anyone who's moved from another part of the state or another state knows this is what's happening. But, you know, again, I meet people on a daily basis from all over. We are the envy of Ocean County, Lacey Township, but by far the envy of Ocean County. I can't think, and I talk to people as I get older, I'm at that age, you know, anyone who talks about moving, where are you going to move to? You can't give me a place they would rather be than Lacey Township. So I want to thank everybody here. I want to thank the residents of Lacey Township. The other interesting part that happens is, what are you going to do in your retirement? You know, my time in Lacey Township was not defined 20 years ago when I was elected, and it's not going to be defined by now. I'm still going to be involved. Don't know what I'll do, but I'll still defend Lacey Township. I'll still love it, and I guess that's about all I have. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you for this wonderful plaque. Thank you to the residents of Lacey Township. Sorry, it took so long.
Move it.
We have a second to the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act pursuant to the public laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. Please rise for the salute to the flag and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Second reading of ordinance 2024-26, setting salaries for non-bargaining employees.
Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending an ordinance entitled An Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, affixing and determining the salaries, wages, and compensation of officers, employees, and members of the governing body of the township. This is the salary ordinance for all non-bargaining employees for 2024 and 2025. This is second reading. Open the floor to public comment.
Seeing none, make a motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion on the ordinance?
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kuratolo?
Abstain.
Mayor Juliano?
Yes. Resolution 2024-322, authorizing a transfer of appropriations.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing a transfer of appropriations in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 40A:4-58. This is normal procedure for the end of the year where we transfer money from certain accounts that had shortfalls to, or ones that had overage into those that had shortfalls.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-323, awarding a contract for the purchase of the Whibbit pieces.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, awarding a contract to commercial recreation specialists for the purchase of additional pieces for the inflatable water sports park for the Township of Lacey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. This is for just a couple additional Whibbit pieces as approved in the 2024 budget.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-324, awarding a contract to Nick Lex Construction for CDBG Housing Rehabilitation Program.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, awarding a contract to Nick Lex Construction LLC under the terms and conditions of the Community Development Block Grant to provide a housing rehabilitation program. This is a county project, so it will count towards our affordable housing credits, and then the county reimburses us once the project is complete.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-325, authorizing an interlocal service agreement with the County Sheriff's Department for the Child Restraint Program grant.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the execution of an interlocal service agreement with the County of Ocean for the Child Restraint Program grant. This is an annual grant that we do to have a number of our officers trained as child passenger safety technicians.
Move it.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Resolution 2024-326, authorizing the refund of deposits.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposits held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Resolution 2024-327, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills. This is in the amount of $8,920,516.93.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes.
Amy, I'll abstain on T0035.
Resolution 2024-327, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Just did that one.
I'm sorry. Please apologize. I'm like trying to write notes here. Monthly reports.
For the month of October, the municipal court office collected receipts in the amount of $19,575.87. For the month of November, the municipal clerk's office collected receipts in the amount of $5,956.26. For the month of November, there was no road opening permits. Recycling commodity was in the amount of $1,002, and that is all for the month of November. Motion to accept the reports is read.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve township meeting minutes from November 26, 2024.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Motion to approve executive session meeting minutes from November 26, 2024.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
Mayor Juliana?
Yes. Okay, comments from the committee. Deputy Mayor, may I have you first, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate you and the work you've been doing and advocating for us, going to these meetings about the drones. I'm sure you'll present a wonderful report. So thank you for that. I just wanted to, along with Merry Christmas, I wanted to report to our residents. Yesterday, I was fortunate enough to go down to Atlantic City. I'm always looking for revenue sources and ways to support our businesses. So it was the State Tourism Conference. Film Ready New Jersey was down there. They're looking for locations that are diverse. I can't think of more diverse locations than a place with a parkway and farms, beach locations, Barnegat Bay. So opportunities abound. I did speak with the State Director of Tourism and Business Development, Jeff Vassar. So it was good to see him, and I was with our board down there as well from Ocean County. So I'm always going to try to advocate for our businesses and additional opportunities for us for revenue streams to help people with the tax bite. So looking forward to that in earnest as I engage some of our colleagues up here and people in Trenton too. Again, if we can get in line and I can advocate for us and bring some dollars our way. I always say, you see dollars flying up and down the parkway right over our shoulders all the time. They get spent in Seaside Heights, they get spent everywhere else. They get spent in Atlantic City, they get spent in Long Beach Island. I want some of those dollars here. So that is going to be something I'm going to enjoy working on, and that'll conclude my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Dykoff?
So, as I won't be here January 1st, I want to thank Mayor Giuliano for the fantastic job you did this year. Anyone, Peggy Sue, Mayor Giuliano, was one of the hardest working mayors I've seen since I've been here. And as I said before, and as Mr. McDonald said, I don't think people realize how much time and effort it takes, and it's not just present, it's in your mind also. And I know Peggy loves this town. She deserves to be here, and she did a great job, and I want to thank you for the job you did. Again, thank you all. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. Good night.
Elvis has left the building.
Mr. Kennis, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank everybody that helped out in the parade and attended the parade. The weather turned out great. Just thank the Elks for they're the ones that actually put it together and coordinate all of it. So I want to thank the Elks, thank the police, the DPW, and like I said, anybody that participated in the parade. So those are my comments.
Thank you. Mr. McDonald?
I want to reiterate what Committeeman Kennis said about the parade. I want to thank everybody who helped with that. Tomorrow, the wreaths come in, and Saturday, 12 o'clock, over at Good Luck Cemetery. We do have a slight hiccup in the fact that we cannot be parking at Murray Grove. So we've arranged for buses to be picked up at the high school. It will bus you over and bus you back. I think it starts at 12 o'clock. Anybody know what time the bus is? 11:30-ish?
No, the buses will pick you up at 11:45.
Quarter to 12, okay, so I wasn't sure of that. So everyone come out with that, that's always a big event that's attended, and I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday. That's all I have.
Thank you. I'm just going to start with, I just want to thank everybody that was involved in the parade. The weather was perfect, the attendance was fabulous, there was a lot of people there to watch. It was, really a beautiful day. It really turned out very well. On the note of the cemetery, our wreaths are arriving tomorrow. They'll be escorted into town by our wonderful police department. We will store them overnight, and then on Saturday morning, we will take them and lay them. There is 400 wreaths being put out. Fantastic program that Jennifer and her daughter and a whole group of people have put together. Jennifer Ipico, I'm sorry, I should have said her last name. It just makes you so proud. We're so proud of what they've done and what they brought to our town. It's a good thing. I would like to let you know that I went to a meeting yesterday with the mayors of New Jersey. There are 533 of us. There was approximately 220-something of us there. It was on the drones. We were asked to come to this meeting by the governor. If you've seen it, I was very frustrated afterwards. The governor did not show up, A. B, the information we got was very simple. They don't know how they're getting here, they don't know how they're leaving, and they don't know what they're doing. So we left very disappointed, very frustrated, very aggravated, very upset. I urge you out there to send endless emails to your congressmen, to your senators. Just keep sending them to the governor. We have a right to know what is going on. And stop treating us like we're stupid. They can tell me where my phone is when I lose it, but they can't tell me what those things are doing up there. And that's frustrating to me, okay? And hopefully you didn't see my bad attitude on Fox News, because I let the governor have it. I was very upset that he wasn't there, and he should have been there. But anyway, that was my trip yesterday. I had the honor of going with the mayor from Berkeley Township. Him and I both went up. We saw a whole lot of mayors that we know from the county, so it was good support from Ocean County alone, and it was very disappointing. But that's all I have on that. And if I get more information, I will let you know that my chief of police today had what's the word? I'm sorry.
A briefing?
On to
But
briefings.
it was our chief had the same information given to him, nothing. So it's not like we're not knowing something, they're not knowing something, it's nobody's giving us anything, okay? And no disrespect, it was the state police who handled it and Homeland Security of New Jersey that handled it. And they had nothing. A lot of good things were brought up in the meeting, though, from other mayors. So that was wonderful to hear other mayors, what they thought should be done. One of my suggestions was to call a state of emergency, because with that, then federal government can step in, and we forcing their hand, basically, to step in, so. But who am I? Little mayor of Lacey Township. But anyway, on that, thank you, Mark, wishing you nothing but the best out there. Enjoy
Thank you,
that
babe.
grandbaby and the children and your family and everybody involved, okay? I now open up the floor to the public. Who would like to speak? Come on up.
So, Laura Shetlick, S-C-H-E-T-E-L-I-C-H. I just have three quick questions to Mr. Curatolo regarding our, the last meeting I was here, the exchange that we had regarding the need for a vegetation meeting with experts. You know, it was brought up again, and I know there is something going on, and I've been kind of briefed a little bit on what's going on, but you had said if the experts show up, then they'll just say not to cut anything down.
I believe that. That's my opinion.
So, but if the experts are saying that, don't you think then there's a reason why they're saying that?
I've pledged I'm not going to escalate it anymore. I think this has been given more airtime than our entire Lacey Township budget. And so I think that's an egregious misuse and misappropriation of everyone here and everyone within earshot of my voice, using too much of their money on this. The fact that that grass grows and those Phragmites grow back every year is proof positive that what you say is not true. The words you used, like hack, destroy,
Well-
break down, it grows back so quickly and so thoroughly that there is no way for a turtle to transverse those pipes. So I'm not gonna get down into the quote-unquote the weeds with you anymore. I said my piece. I'm the coastal monitoring manager for the county. I know of that which I speak. I believe that that's a very healthy ecosystem. We are not going to endanger anything by cutting some grass. We are not going to, on the other side of the
Different
walkway,
view on that.
we're not going to subject our houses to erosion. So it grows back every year, and
Well,
that's
yeah,
all I'm
but
going to
you know
do.
what? It's not there during the stormy season. winter storms will blow up, and if I've been down there when the walkway has been covered in seaweed in the wintertime because there's nothing to keep it from coming up. Okay. The other thing
appreciate it.
is you had mentioned that it's thriving.
When I saw it on July 23rd, it absolutely was.
On July 23rd, right before it was cut, it was beautiful and it was thriving. If you would meet me down there tomorrow, you'd see that the only part of that park that's thriving, let me finish, is at the ends where the two houses have not mowed. Otherwise, you won't find a bird or anything up in the rest of that park along the walkway. And you had, I'm going to read it because I took a screenshot of it from the Southern Ocean Times article. I just want to find out what your thoughts are on this. This is you speaking, the reporter. Mr. Curtolo, he added that as an employee of the Ocean County Health Department, he had concerns about the dangers of mosquitoes carrying the West Nile virus and argued that reducing their habitat would force them elsewhere. Just curious where elsewhere.
I don't speak for the Ocean
is
County Health
elsewhere?
Department.
I'm curious
I'm
where
going to answer
elsewhere
your
is.
question. There, a number of times over the years, the State Department of Environmental Protection has warned against pooling water and to keep the yards clean and manicured further. So that's the public health and DEP part of it. I'll close my comments with this. This committee, virtually every 2 weeks that we meet during the summer, we fine some people in our town for not keeping up with their property, $117, $243, whatever the case may be. That comes from a report from our. So if there's folks down there that refuse to cut anything, why should any of the others then pay any fine that we levy? There has to be a uniformity to things. We've had this debate. The committee made a decision. It's within the scope of a DEP permit, and we're gonna go forward. We don't hate the environment. I've done weddings down there. I love that place. I went there with my daughter when she was smaller, and I will continue to go there. And I did meet with folks down there in July for over 2 hours.
Yeah, it was beautiful back in
And
July.
they were nice to me. Well, it's wintertime too, Michelle. Like, I
Right.
mean,
I know,
stuff
but all those
dies.
beautiful
My lawn's dead,
grasses, all those
stuff
beautiful
dies.
grasses would be absolutely, have you ever seen them?
But it comes
blossom
back.
in the
It does
wintertime?
come back
Right, but
because
they're
you're
not
back
there.
here.
They're not there right now, and it's beautiful.
I feel
mean,
bad taking up everyone's time. I really
So when
do.
you say the mosquitoes are in the low-lying pools of water,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Okay, well, when you cut down all those grasses and all those native plants on either side of the driveway, you're creating a low-lying pool of water. If the grasses and the plants were still there, there wouldn't be that water. The roots would be soaking them up. Once you cut them down and we get a good rain, you're providing a low-lying pool of water for the
A
mosquitoes.
famous basketball coach once said, "You and I may have to agree to disagree agreeably." I'm going to be respectful of
I've got
you.
facts. You're creating low-lying pools of water.
I appreciate your time.
Anyone else would like to speak? Come on, up, please. You got to raise your hand, so, I mean, unless we're going to be closing the floor and waiting.
Ready to.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Linda Miller, Forkett River. Wanted to say to you, Mark, that I really liked a couple of your comments. One was gaining knowledge about our nation.
I'm sorry, excuse me, I can't hear you.
Gaining, you said you like to know and gain information about our nation. Did you
Yes,
say that?
I don't believe so, but
Yeah.
I do like to gain knowledge about our nation.
did say
And
that.
I speak to our congressman, especially when I was mayor. As a mayor, we represent the township, so in all aspects. So we talk to our congressman, and it happens to be Congressman Smith, or in time Senator, so I do gain knowledge about our nation.
That's good, I like it. The other comment is, I like the one about you like strong women.
Yes? Oh, okay, I thought you said you you didn't like some of my, you liked some of my comments?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Comments.
I'm getting all like my hair. Oh. You know what? I do. I've got a wife, 2 daughters, and now a granddaughter. And they are my moral compass because, I mean, do I ever want to disappoint them? I just don't ever want to disappoint them. And my Italian mother-in-law too, which,
And the other one that you love, Lacey. Those 3 comments I thought were very nice.
good, good.
Okay. Now, this is why I'm here. First of all, I'd like to say, I would always like the time to be later, 7 o'clock.
I make a motion, you make it 8 o'clock.
Table it.
Table it till January.
Okay, so, at a previous meeting, I requested that we open with the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. It was approved, and I prayed aloud. Following meeting, it was not on the agenda. Veronica apologized for forgetting it. And at the last meeting, I questioned why it was once again not on the agenda. I was told it may offend someone, and the moment of silence is an opportunity for personal prayer. I'm not quoting you, Mr. Connor. It was kind of like that. I'm not exactly sure what you said,
Right.
but that was the reason that, no.
It was, yeah, it wasn't that it would offend anybody. It was the fact that it gives anybody an opportunity to pray in their own way by recognizing there may be a variety of religions and
Right.
faiths so that everyone can take that opportunity. Additionally, in addition to the moment of silence, it gives an individual like myself who wishes to give deeper personal thoughts as to maybe a personal issue or some other issue. I look at the police officer in the back of the room, and I have a family of police officers, and I always, every day, say a prayer for them, particularly this time of year when there's a lot of people out on the road and they're out there in the midnight shift and there's people drinking. There's so many things that can come in harm's way with a police officer. And so if I said a Lord's Prayer, I wouldn't be able to include all of that stuff as well, so.
Okay. All righty. So, in 2024, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that starting a local government meeting with prayer does not violate the Establishment Clause of the U.S. Constitution. I'm asking once again for public prayer at this meeting. The Supreme Court upheld prayer at public meetings. It affirmed that the town of Greece, New York, the freedom to open meetings was with uncensored prayer. And that was Town of Grace, New York versus Galloway, 2014. It was revised this October in 2024. If you want to know more about this, you can look online at adflegal.org, the Alliance for Defending Freedom. And so I know there's a moment of silence, and that's wonderful, but I would like to prayer before the meeting, and then if you need to add to the prayer, you can do that in a moment of silence. Anybody responding to that?
Well,
I think the response has been given
Right.
from the governing body, that it has considered the Supreme Court's most recent decision, which has always been the law of the land in the United States, that a public meeting can start with a prayer. It's been practiced by the legislature, it's practiced by some bodies, but most include simply a moment of silence. And again, it's to respect other religions, other faiths, and other thoughts that people might have during that time. And so the governing body's been briefed. They understand that the Supreme Court only allows it, it doesn't mandate it, and it only says that you can.
So I can?
It says that the governing body may start a meeting with a prayer. Doesn't say necessarily the Lord's Prayer, it just says it may start it with a prayer. again, not to belabor the point, it's pretty simplistic, that in order to respect everyone's view, the governing body has elected, notwithstanding the Supreme Court's opinion, that it was going to begin every meeting, as it has since time immemorial, to do it with a moment of silent prayer. And I think that's considerate of other people as well.
Well, it's not considered of what I would like.
Well, that may be, you can say the Lord's
And
Prayer.
many other people, because our country is like really needing God, coming back to God now, because it's all about
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the audience that would like to speak? Come on up.
I just want to say thank you, Merry Christmas, good luck, God bless, enjoy your retirement, thank you for everything you've done, your service, and...
Ma'am, can I just have your name for the record? I'm sorry.
Everybody knows my name.
Denise O'Carroll.
I'm sorry.
She's still new, she doesn't, I think I came up here once since she's been here, so we'll give her a break. It's
Thank
Denise
you.
O'Carroll, V-A-C-C-A-R-O. So, that's
Thank
all I
you
really
very
want to
Denise.
say.
Appreciate that.
Yes, God bless to the police officer and all of them. Guys, yes, I do say prayers every day for them.
Same thing.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Is there anything else, Andy?
I just want to say something to Mark.
Can we have his name too?
I'm Maciolik, M-A-C-I-O-L-E-K. Want me to spell that again? Or slower?
I got it, I got
Should I
it,
go slower?
She can hear quick and speak quick.
got it.
Well, Mark, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I retired a couple years ago. My daughter blessed me with a grandson. Congratulations, good luck, you're gonna love it. It's the
Oh,
best
yeah, I
thing.
love it.
And thank everybody.
She's sunken.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all.
You too,
See
Matt.
next year.
Yep.
We're praying for, prosperity in Lacey Township in 2025.
You better believe it.
Amen.
Thank you. Anyone else that would like, yes, sir, come on up.
You don't have to address me as sir. Bob Luray, Lacey Township. First, I want to make a correction, Mrs. Mayor. You said you were at the meeting, you felt like a small mayor from a small town. Well, you're a great mayor, and you come from one of the greatest towns in this state.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to make that correction. Also, thank you for being such a great mayor to this town. They've really been blessed to have you serve them this year. I just want to say something quick. Mr. Dykoff,
Mr. Larray.
we've been around a long time.
Long time, Bob.
And even though I haven't been on that side of the dais,
Yeah.
we've agreed sometimes, disagreed.
Absolutely.
And like everybody else has said, respect each other. But there is some things we have in common. Passion. Passion and love for this town is what gave me the decision this year when I was asked to try to fill the seat that he sits in. And all I can say, Mark, your time, your dedication, what you have done for this town, behind the scenes that people don't see, there's no words that can really say how much we appreciate it. And you kind of made me a little nervous tonight because I kind of agreed with everything you said.
Scary.
And I got to sit in that seat next month. So I know it's going to be a hard seat to fill. I'm looking forward to it. But you're going to enjoy your time with the grandkids, being retired. Maybe I need my head examined because I'm doing the opposite. I'm retired with the grandkids and I'm filling his seat, so. And the only other thing is, one thing you really said that bangs home for me is, yes, we do respect strong women. Not only am I married to one, we also know there's another one in town. But with that
I'll
said,
whistle.
I want to thank not only everybody sitting up there for the job you did this year, but also I've learned a lot sitting back here in the audience for the past year, listening to different viewpoints too. But with that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody, and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Come on up, Mr. Bender. He usually is the closer. I don't know if there's anybody else.
Barry Bender, somewhere in Lacey Township. Got to wish the man luck. Way back in 2003, He and I ran against each other. First time I ran for office. First time you ran for office too, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah. It's been a lot of years. Lot of years. Maybe you'll be sitting out here with me some days.
You know what, I'm,
It
all depends, it all depends, you know?
I just wanted to wish you a lot of luck.
Oh, thank you.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Bender. Mr. Bender?
Good evening, Mayor Giuliano and members of the Township Committee, Veronica, et cetera. And to the people out in TV land and the Lacey citizens. I want to reiterate that I'm bringing this up about the moment of silence. I can't say the Lord's Prayer in the amount of time. I tried to do it tonight. There's not enough time to be able to do it. So if you're going to go around that route, I think you're going to have to give us some more time. I think that's
no problem.
kind of
We
like-
can do that.
because,
You know, you never know how long to, it's that kind of thing, it says a
well,
moment.
say
of
it to
silence.
yourself.
Awkward pause.
I am.
That's it, you got it.
I did, but that's what I'm saying. I do say it to myself. It's funny.
Well, if you want to hear the way I do it, it will take a lot
Lot
longer.
longer.
Right, exactly. So I'm just saying, just so you know, for those of us.
Mr. Bitnick, you know why I can say it so quick? Because I had to say it 30 times after confession.
I just wanted to mention today that it was announced that the nativity scene is actually in our Capitol building. It's the first time in the history of the United States that it has been placed in the Capitol building. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is there's a lack of morality that's been going on in our country.
You have to not touch this, it's going in
Oh.
and out like crazy.
Oh, okay.
The wire must be sliced or
Yeah.
something
Oh.
inside.
It's got to
All
be
right.
tight, you mean? Right?
Don't touch it.
All right, I
Keep
won't
yourself
touch
about
it.
this one.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, thanks. So,
I'll have to look at a new wire.
the reason I brought this up is because since the 1960s, the United States and our culture has really gone through a major transition of progressive liberalism, which has really, we've lost God, It's not allowed to be spoken in our schools. Even in our meetings, the lack of that ability. And I blame all of this on the crime we have in our country, the drugs, the theft that goes on in our society, the way people treat one another with no respect or caring. I don't care what your belief is, you have to have something, a greater power of some sort that you have to look up to, that you're accountable to, because without that, there's no meaning. It's dark, and it's a very ugly place to be. So with that said, I'm very much in favor. I don't want to offend anybody in their religion or anything like that, but we need to get back to where we once were. We really do. It's very, very important, especially for our young people and the next generation. So moving on to other things. At the last meeting, during a very lively discussion that I had with the Township Committee, there was a gentleman who was here from the Paradise Point. I was thinking about this after the meeting, and this has nothing particularly to do with that topic, but it's a suggestion for our Township Administrator. I would not like it if I was sitting up here and I was a Township Committee member and I got blindsided at a meeting because I wasn't informed of something that's been going on for quite a while that residents are having a problem with. And my suggestion is for yourself, so you're never put in a position where after a meeting, Township Committee members can say to you, if this guy's been talking about this for 2 years, and why is this the first time we're hearing about it? My suggestion is with all these things that come up and talking to your department heads, this is just my personal recommendation,
I'm listening.
that you gather a list of things that are coming up, and once a month, you supply it to the members of our Township Committee, so that when something like that happens, you're aware.
And I'll give you 100% on what you're saying, but I want you to know that is the first time in the 2.5 years that I'm here that there was something brought up that I was not aware of. In all honesty, she feeds us endless emails, endless conversations. Honestly, that
I'm
was the
not
first time.
I'm not questioning that.
Yes, you're right, we're not gonna deny it.
See, what usually happens is it all started with Public Works. He called Public Works looking for a remedy.
Mhm.
Public Works explained to him, Casey explained it to him and everything else.
Right.
Didn't like their answer, he came to me.
Right.
did the same thing, explained the same thing, told us we didn't know what we were talking about, we weren't experts. So I said to him, if he didn't like the situation, escalate it to the township committee. So we did.
But if I...
It happens all the time.
I
with
know,
things.
but I'm just saying, for everyone's protection, if I was in your job, I would not want to be put in positions like that. So I'm just giving you a preemptive, and I would talk to all of your department heads, because there's probably things that you're not even aware of that could turn into a bigger thing longer on. And that, you want to be able to know what's going on. So this is just a recommendation that I have. Okay, so then, Mr. Kennis, at the last meeting, in our lively discussion, you basically said that you guys are doing a C or a C+, and I have to say, as a taxpayer who's paying AA plus taxes, mediocrity is just not a word that is in my vocabulary.
I was teasing. I said, I think we do, I think we do an A job, but most other people probably would not say that.
Right.
I've said it many times, I think we do a great job at the budget. I do.
Well, I think you were referencing a whole slew of things there, but the whole point of the matter is that I would never, even if it was true that we were only a C or a C+, I would never make a statement like that at a public meeting to the constituents, because a lot of people wrote about this online, and they said, C or C+, I'm paying A+ in taxes. Don't do that. No good.
I don't do social media, so I wouldn't know.
Well, but we do. That's how we get the information out to people. And I actually cut and paste these things from these meetings, and they are on social media. So when you speak and you say things like that, people are seeing it all over the town, just so you're aware. Okay. Now, Wreaths Across America is this weekend. And I encourage everyone who can to participate in that. I will be up at the Veterans Cemetery in Wrightstown because my mother and father are both buried there. And Carol Middledorf, his parents are also there. We're both going up to place the wreaths on our own parents' grave. But I encourage people to remember these individuals, they served our country, they fought for our freedoms. And it's important to remember their service and honor them. And on that point, I'd like to wish the entire Township Committee and our citizens in our town a very merry, safe Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Mr. Dykoff, congratulations on your retirement. But you know what? Maybe you can come and join us on this end now. And see what it's like.
You know what? I've actually had people say, Mark, now you can go behind and you can really speak your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine that, Mr.
See,
Business.
that's the reason why I don't run, because I don't want to be filtered. You
know what?
understand? You get it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak from the audience? Okay, I want to just make sure that you know we have another meeting. It's on the 23rd. It'll be at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're doing it, we have to technically have another meeting, so it'll be at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 23rd. But next week, on Tuesday, is our first budget meeting, and that's at 6 o'clock. In case anybody wants to come here next Tuesday, the 17th,
Might come out.
be here for the budget meeting at 6 o'clock.
And then we're back here on January 1st at 12 noon.
12 noon on January 1st. Okay? Well, thank you. If I
we-
don't see you,
Motion to close the floor? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
have a great holiday, everybody.
Motion to adjourn.
Merry Christmas.
Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Private.
Aye.
Thank you for being.